How did you get to suffering in the first place? Karma, you created the causes for it. And now here it comes. And then you go, oh my God, I better watch my P's and Q's a little bit better here. I don't like this suffering that and I created the causes for this suffering in the past. So damned if I'm going to recreate the causes for more suffering like this by being unkind, harmful to others. Okay? So fear, a little bit of healthy fear in doing harm. Some people get the idea, especially in modern culture, I think that, that we should be fearless. You can put it on their pickup trucks. Fear this or fear no fear or stuff like that. You should have a little fear. Have a good, healthy sense of fear of suffering, of future suffering. I don't want to suffer, so I'm not going to recreate the causes in the present that would bring me suffering in the future. And a mastery of virtue, by the way. There is nothing in the world which so now we've gotten the idea like, okay, I want to be a happy person. There's disadvantages to anger. I need to practice forgiveness. I can even maybe get myself to the point where I'm thinking gratefully about the people that hurt me in the past. Grateful for that pain that's occurred. Now how can I start really practicing? See, how can I start really overcoming it? And sometimes in response to this kind of quest, in response to this kind of goal, there's another voice that occurs to us, and it's just like, but I can't. I just can't. I can't overcome my anger. I know I should. I know it'd be good. I know it'd be good to forgive the people that hurt me, but I just can't. There's a little whiny voice that says that. This is the verse for that whiny voice, okay? There is nothing in the world which does not come easy if you make a habit of it. You can do anything if you make a habit of it. Make then a habit of bearing the small pains, and thus endure the greater. And thus endure the greater. So this means practice forgiveness, practice patience in little ways. In little ways. Build up patience and forgiveness muscles. By starting little, by starting small. So like how? Like all day long, be forgiving. As people cut you off in traffic, instead of using that as yet another opportunity to get angry, just say, oh, okay, big deal. I forgive you, see? That's not too hard. It's not too hard to forgive people that cut you off in traffic, or people who, like sneak in front of the line, or people like that. And instead of getting that all avenging justice thing, it's like, oh, no big deal. I'm not going to let my day be ruined by getting upset about stupid things like this. And just start practicing. Practice forgiveness in the little ways. And then you'll be able, as you get stronger, to practice forgiveness in the big ways. The harder ways. And the same is with patience. Just be patient about the little, upsets in life. So that you can practice it when the big ones come. And not lose your tempers. Patience is the opposite thing. Patience is the opposite thing. So practicing patience means you're practicing the weaponry that will allow you to beat anger eventually. So start little. Start forgiving little ones, but start. It's not going to happen automatically. You're not going to become a forgiving, patient person magically. See, and maybe some part of us wants that to happen too. Maybe if I pray to somebody, they'll come and magically, change me. And that's never been the way it's worked, The Lord helps those who help themselves, right? So you gotta do something for yourself. All kinds of people, all kinds of beings may come and help you, but you gotta make a little bit of effort. You gotta take a little bit of initiative. I'll tell you a story about this, okay, as a joke. There's a guy who said, I believe in God. God will provide. God will take care of everything. God will take care of me. So a big flood happens. Big rain comes, and flood comes. And they're evacuating the whole neighborhood. And the guy's in his house, and people come in the emergency truck and says, "Get in the truck. We're evacuating the neighborhood." No, God will provide. God will provide. And the water rises, and he's up on the second floor, and they send a boat. He said, "Get in the boat, we're saving you, get in the boat." No, God will save me, God will provide. And then, the water goes to the very top of the house, on the roof, and a helicopter comes and, sends down a little rope ladder, and says, no, go away, God gates and he meets his maker and he says, you know, God, you know, I got a little, you know, kind of bone to pick. You know, I saw I had so much faith in you. I said, you know, I think you would provide, and you never provided. Drowned. So you know what God said, right? I sent the truck, I sent the boat, I sent the helicopter. Why the hell didn't you do something on your own? Why didn't you take advantage? So we can't just like sit around waiting for patience to happen. Some patient fairy who's going to come in the middle of the night, you know, take away your anger. So work at it. You got to practice, and practice in the small ways. Praise, then learning gratitude. Praise and the rest distract me, and also function to destroy my feelings of dismay. So is there anything, you know, is there anything good about somebody, for example, who defames you? Who's somebody who like tries to ruin your reputation, as opposed to people who praise you all the time. So he says, well, maybe the person who defames me is actually doing me more of a favor than the person who praises me. Why? Praise and the rest distract me. So for example, if somebody's saying all the time to you, oh, you're such a nice person, you're such a nice person, you're such a nice person, you might get a little distracted from your goal of being a nice person, of cultivating yourself as a nice person. You go, oh, I guess I'm pretty good now. I'm already good enough, maybe. I don't need to work hard. I'm distracted, you see. Praise, through praise. My feeling, and also function to destroy my feelings of dismay with life. See, with the suffering life and not getting serious about spiritual life. Very interesting. They make me feel envy towards those who possess high qualities. The more you're praised, he's saying, very, very interesting psychologically. The more you're praised, the more envious you are of people who are praised more. Praise is a little bit like crack cocaine. You know? You can never quite get enough of it. Right? Fame is like that too, for that matter. Right? Fame and praise kind of go hand in hand. I have a student who's very, very famous, famous actress. And you know, she's constantly being, you know, harassed by people. You know, people ask, oh, I saw you, on such and such a show, blah, blah, blah. Constantly. No private life, really. I mean, you know. But people who search for that fame can never get enough of it. You're never famous enough. Right? If you're addicted to fame, you're never famous. It's like money, it's like anything else. You never get enough of it. So praise is like that too. You never get enough praise. If you're addicted to praise, you'll never get enough of it. And you'll feel envious towards those who do. Next verse. He says, so can't we say then that it's the case that anyone who devotes himself to destroying the praise I get and such is actually engaged in the act of protecting me from falling into the verse of history? So couldn't we say that somebody who's actually not praising me, who's doing the opposite of praising me, is actually protecting me from the harm that would come to me if people were only praising me? Next verse. Suppose that without an ounce of effort, you came across a treasure chest hidden in your house. You should thus feel grateful for your enemies who aid you in your bodhisattva practice. Bodhisattva means learning how to be a saint, learning how to be a good person. Without the people who are challenging you, you can never rise above yourself. Right? Without the people who are defaming you, you never lose the addiction to praise. Without the people who are irritating you, you can never learn patience. Think about that. If there wasn't somebody irritating, how could you ever overcome irritation? Right? So now this is it, bottom line, when it comes to gratitude. Think about that person, that special person, and try to feel grateful for what they allowed you to try to overcome. What they made possible for you in your spiritual quest to be a better person. And if you haven't started that quest, well, tonight's the night. If they hadn't hurt you, you wouldn't be able to forgive them. And forgiveness is a positive virtue. Forgiveness makes you a better person. If there weren't someone to forgive, how could you ever practice forgiveness?